Welcome to another interview in my series where I talk to people about their journeys through the MBA or EMBA. And today we've got Kassem Kallas, very interesting individual who bridges, academia, research, and industry. He's got this background in telecom and electrical engineering, which has kind of ramped up and evolved into this expertise in AI and cybersecurity. For Kassem, his taking of the EMBA in strategic leadership was not about getting another degree. This guy seems to have a lot of degrees. It was a quest for business acumen, to get his ideas out there and successful in this computer tech industry. So let's sit back and listen to Kassem and me talking about things like AI, the challenges of starting a business, and of course, going through the MBA. See you on the other side. There we go. Nice to meet you. Thank you for agreeing to chat.
Nice to meet you too. I'm happy to talk with you.
So I don't know if you've seen, but I'm just talking to lots of different people who are doing MBAs and mostly through Quantic. I think you're doing yours through Valar, right?
Yes. I am doing an executive MBA in strategic leadership.
Okay, all right. And you have quite an impressive resume, at least according to LinkedIn. So I'd love to chat a little bit about, maybe, or you could walk me through maybe what it is you're doing and how you got there, because you spent a lot of time in research and academia. So I'd love to hear more about what you're doing, if you can tell me.
Okay, so actually, after my PhD, when I finished my PhD in 2017, I was in Italy. I worked in an industry for a certain period before rejoining the academia again as postdoctoral studies and later as a research fellow in the US. But throughout this time, I was thinking about starting a business. Actually, I have started a business that was not in technology, but it did not work out due to the economic situation actually in Lebanon, to say. But basically to understand more business environments, to understand how to manage companies. In academia, we don't have really this background, this kind of knowledge
Right.
about economic finance. We learn, with experience, we learn how to manage people, to manage students, to manage research teams. But the situation in the industry is different. So understanding how the peculiarities of industry on management at companies level, the way money works, to say, is different from what we have in science,
Yeah.
So that was my motivation to have another degree on that, because anyway, a degree is a certification, is a good and at personal level to gain knowledge about business administration, because it's different than research administration. I have seen through my course at Valar that's not the same, and so I started to apply for different executive MBA programs. Some of them are well-known schools. I will not name. Okay, but and Valar. Quantic was one of them. So I got different acceptances, different scholarships, but the most adequate one was Valar. First of all, at financial level,
Right.
and this is at the beginning before starting the course. And comparable schools were much more, to say,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, much more expensive. Yes.
that can reach 100K per 14 months. Even with the scholarship, the remaining was about 40K.
And I
I
think
have
a lot of people like Quantic because you can do it and still keep doing what it is you're doing.
no, actually, for the schools that I was accepted in, I was accepted in 3 schools beside Valar. Yeah, the rate of lessons was not very high. It was designed actually for executives, for
Okay.
senior and middle level managers. but still, if you want to find financing from your own or current work is not straightforward, because those elite schools are really expensive.
Yeah.
And plus Valar, I mean, I have done a lot of research before joining Quantic and Valar, and I also, I mean, I have talked to several people, some of them at really, really good positions, that they have completed their program with Valar, and they highly recommend it to me because it's on somehow on my own pace to study. Because but at the end
Mm.
you have deadlines for exams and so on, and their interactive user interface is good, and they show like. Real life examples that you can think of, you can
Yeah.
analyze personally. It's not mainly about networking. It's a point. I mean, I see it as a point of equilibrium between networking and the quality of the material provided. You see?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it is like you're saying. The whole bundle, I think, is very interesting with Quantic. I mean, I think the technology that we're using is very interesting, and I'm always surprised how much we're learning. Sometimes I think, oh, we're not really learning that much, but when I look back, I go, wow, it's really being done well using the ed tech that they've got. I think it's quite well put together, the course.
Yes, yes. I mean, if I want to compare with other lessons I have done in other schools that are on campus, that are physical schools, because I have done some lessons before,
Mm-hmm.
a training period, or they call it in French période d'essai. I mean trial period. The amount of information you receive is not different.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But the only difference is that you can interact physically with people. Here, if you want to interact physically with people, you need to attend the conferences. And in both cases, in physical institutes and in Valar institutes, it's on your own expense. So
yeah.
it's not different. So it's for you to choose.
Right. And I think for me, this is kind of my first experience of something that was so, how can I put it? The responsibility is ours. Like if we can get as much from the Quantic experience as we want. I mean, and I know some people, they don't put very much effort in, so they don't get very much out. But if you put a lot of effort in, I think there's a lot to get out of Quantic.
Yes, I mean, if you study well, if you pay attention, and to say not doing the modules in the morning while you are drinking the coffee, then yes, you can learn.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same rule. It does not apply particularly to Quantic. If you attend any class in any institute and you do it in this way, maybe you can pass, maybe.
Hmm.
But how much do you get from the course?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not really about passing, is it? I mean, it's about, at this level, it's about what you learn is the most important thing, I
No,
think.
no. What I'm trying to say about people that they want just the name of the
Yes.
degree, they can do minimum, even if they go to physical school. They can do minimum pass having the
Mm.
name, and for me personally, I don't really need the name. I have already my degrees and
Mhm.
recognition, so that I involved in the program to really learn.
Mm. Now you're, if I'm right, the kind of work you're doing, you're in right now what's a very hot area, which is AI and machine learning, and
Yeah.
you're at a very low level or high level, depends on how you want to look at it. I mean, you're involved in the development of machine learning and AI algorithms, right? Would I be right?
Yes, as an overview, actually, I come from a background on theoretical cybersecurity, mathematics. I have my PhD in information engineering and mathematics, but yet after 2017, this area of AI and cybersecurity become really a hot point. So from 2017, approximately at the beginning of the rise, we switched to AI. So
Mhm.
what I'm doing since that time is actually using AI, deep learning, machine learning, and cybersecurity. In the past, I was doing that for defense. So I was particularly involved in projects with defense.
Mhm.
As recently, I have moved to to a new institute where I am doing cybersecurity and artificial intelligence for medical applications.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's the good side of the story. I mean, shifting
yeah.
from trying to do something good for people, it will be better. So yes, I am mainly involved in cybersecurity, machine learning, artificial intelligence for
Hmm.
security, privacy, all of these issues from theoretical level as well as from the application level.
Hmm. So how did you? I'm curious how you went through. So did you start doing computer science? Like, is that you went to and did a bachelorette in computer science? Is that how you started?
No, actually, I was in electrical and electron and telecom engineering.
Okay.
So the traditional telecom engineering and electrical engineering. Then my first master was in computer and communication engineering. My background is always or was always engineering rather than faculty of science. So and then I did another master in wireless systems and internet technologies
Mm-hmm.
in Polytechnic Institute in Turin in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And there I got like a particular attention to cybersecurity. So yeah, I'm in cryptography, ciphering, and those kind of stuff.
Mm.
And yes, yeah. After that, I got an acceptance with one of the top scientists in information forensics in Europe. So I did my PhD with him, and this is where my attention to cybersecurity
Right.
has been. Yeah.
Oh, so interesting. So you kind of grew into it. It just kind of went that path.
Yes, yes, but I mean, but I have different experiences and other things, but this topic has a particular attention from my side. So I did my PhD in the theoretical side of it, and now we are shifting slowly to apply what we know from traditional to say signal processing and mathematical analysis to AI.
Hmm. Hmm. I did myself some work in the medical field with radiography and radiology, and I can really see. I mean, I'm at a different level than you, but I can definitely see how machine learning and AI could be very, very beneficial in those areas. Um,
Yes, actually, in the past, in collaboration with a professor from University of Warwick in United Kingdom, we have designed a PhD course on using deep learning for medical diagnosis. So we were giving like a kind of X-rays
mhm.
and medical, I mean, different kind of medical imaging to assist, to assist medical experts in knowing what's wrong with the image. Like,
Right.
does the patient have a certain disease? Does not? What's going on there? And that increase the accuracy of recognizing something wrong? Actually, it does.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I mean, we were seeing that in the work that we were doing, especially people. We were dealing with people, doctors who were kind of in remote areas, let's say in developing countries and so on, that didn't have access to that many people who could do good diagnosis. So they would upload all of their images, and
yeah,
those things would be done kind of remotely in partnership with a doctor and to do the analysis.
yeah, I do believe like doing that with the diagnosis with the human in the loop to say will be better for now
Yeah,
until now than relying only on the machine.
right. I mean, there's a
Because
couple of reasons for that. I think people don't like the idea that a machine is diagnosing them.
not only, I mean, I'm speaking about that from scientific point of view to say uh, artificial intelligence is not as intelligent as
Right.
people think. It's at the end is high dimensional statistical models. They don't do analysis in the same way that our brain works.
Mhm.
Our brain is not statistical.
Right. So I think, yeah, definitely we need to have the merger of those two, at least for
We
now.
are, we are partially statistical. We recognize patterns, but we have other factors as human beings.
Right. So you're working in the medical field and you're talking about maybe starting your own business. Would it be in that same kind of area?
It is in it's one applic. Actually, the ideas are more than one idea. Okay, one of them is related to medical diagnosis, employing computer vision model to something,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is pure AI and cybersecurity.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So, pure AI and cybersecurity could be applied in medical field for the privacy
Mm-hmm.
of medical records of data, because now these records are not difficult to be attacked.
So my hometown, I'm from Canada originally, and my hometown, just 6 months ago, I think it was, all the hospitals had all of their data stolen.
Yeah, I mean, this is one kind of attack, that is cyber attack. But there are attacks that are particularly designed, crafted for systems running machine learning.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so if you have a machine learning model on your hospital website or API that you can query using your phone or your website,
Mm-hmm.
and the attacker can know that there is a machine learning model over there. They can be crafted particular attacks, like to get a particular record or knowledge about a particular patient. So that kind, they call it in science, they call it membership inference.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can know that this record was used for training the machine learning model, so I can identify the patient. I can know something about the patient, especially some people with rare diseases that they don't
Right.
want to reveal that they have that. I had COVID. I don't want anyone to know.
Right.
But those attacks are capable of doing so.
Interesting. So that's a real intersection of multiple disciplines there.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I don't know if we talk about it much in Quantic, but it used to be, I would say, even 10 years ago, you could have a kind of a single faceted idea and you could develop that. But I think now we're in this world where you have to have an intersection, you know?
Yeah. Now, since everything is booming, of course, you cannot take like one particular traditionally inherited thing and just try to develop it, because the shift of attention of people and the customer and the market, to say, is not now focused on one thing. And now everyone, I mean, I have been participating in business events even during my academic path, and I have seen people are really interested in doing this AI. Any business model that contain the magic AI, it is working to some extent. It's
Right.
getting, unless they are like some business angels or those people who raise fund that they don't really believe in AI. They think it's a spam. Some of them are a scam. They don't, but the majority they do believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, people are interacting with like Mid Journey, with ChatGPT, and they say,
Right.
"Oh, it's doing magic. It's doing hallucination," but people believe it.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, my work, because I'm primarily a software developer,
Mhm.
and my work is dramatically different now than it was, I would say, even 3 years ago. I
Yeah,
mean, now I'm, leveraging AI quite a bit, um, because it's giving me a different, it's almost like I am co-developing with an AI machine,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
and a larger part of my work is knowing what to ask that AI, how to get the results out of that AI. That's becoming now kind of a larger and larger part of my work.
Yeah, this is prompt engineering. There are
Yeah.
courses on prompt engineering. Some people are trying to teach how to do prompt engineering, and surprisingly, there are AI machines that do the prompts. So AI
Right.
talking to AI. Yeah, but to get the maximum out of an AI model, yeah, you have to be somehow an expert on how to talk to an AI model, because
Yes.
it's the
Yeah.
same as talking as to a human being.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
we're developing a communication skill, but we're just communicating with something different.
yeah. Be careful to not lose the human communication skills.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really fascinating, and I mean we're just right at the beginning of all of this, and to see how that evolves and the speed that it's evolving. I mean, like you say, it's been kind of slow brewing in the background for a while. Um,
Yes.
because I did a machine learning course, God, long, like 10 years ago or something like that, so maybe not quite 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And, but it's really taken off. The changes are so dramatically different now.
Yeah, I mean, machine learning still is it's considered like a bigger set where AI is a subset of that. But now the subset of AI, of deep learning in particular, is dominating over the other algorithms that were proposed like years ago. Years ago, the algorithms like linear regression and SVM machines and those things were the show, to say.
Yeah.
Now, neural networks and deep learning are doing much better. So everyone now who is introduced to AI will go directly to deep learning, to AI, to neural networks, to say, to generative models like deep fakes, like
Mm-hmm.
all kind of data, because you can see their effect. People like to play with these things, like generate a perfect image out of a certain command, putting your face on an athlete body or a
Mm-hmm.
model body, so that's why people are shifting to learn those techniques over the old techniques of machine learning. Plus, these techniques are performing better on particular tasks.
Right. Now, in your opinion, they're performing better in certain areas. I mean, the other ways are very performant. But the areas that they're performant in are different, I think.
Yes, they are performing depending on the area, of course. But why in general neural networks and the new machine learning algorithms are better? Uh, they are better because they have a lot of parameters. They are not simple. Like
Right.
support vector machines, I mean, based on one matrix. Now, if you go to neural networks, you can find million, billion of parameters. So you can overfit any kind of mathematical equation to there
Mm.
to find an approximation for that. So that's why they are performing better. Plus the availability of huge data.
Yes. Yeah.
At, at that time, there was, I mean, the kind of huge data did not exist at that time. Now it's there. So yeah, I mean, those are two important factors in making the machine learning models of nowadays work.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, the availability of data is quite dramatic right now. Different.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now, so your MBA. When are you done? You're not done yet, are you?
No, no, I still have two things to graduate. One exam was the the last module, and to submit the capstone.
So did you do your capstone with other people?
Yes, I mean, actually, it was highly recommended to do it. And also, I mean, you will get to know other people. Networking is a big side of
Yes.
EMBA.
Yeah.
No, and you can get networking by participating in projects or by attending physically some events. So
So
I
how
do.
do you feel with your capstone? You're ahead of me, so I haven't started on my capstone yet. But how do you feel like the capstone went as far as your particular interests? Was everything?
No, actually, for my capstone, I did not choose to develop my own business plan because of the intellectual property right, because the startup is with a public institute here.
Right.
So I decided to choose another kind of capstone where you work with the client.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, there are usually three kinds of capstone projects proposed by Valar. Client project where you work with a client, they have a problem, and you work on a business plan to try to solve that issue. And life projects where you will be involved on like weekly basis with another client. You will like be a part of a company for some time doing some tasks, and your own idea. You have to propose your own idea. Like, I would like to start a business in this, even if the idea could be random.
Hmm.
Not really you want to start a business, but just to show your ability to develop a good business plan, a
Right.
long plan, not the 5-page version, to write a full report. So you choose one of these, and And I mean, on Slack, on communication tools, you start to connect with people who's interested in this and that, and you can form your group. And my collaboration with my group was perfect up to now. I mean, the guys are really hardworking. They have different backgrounds. Some of them are experts in management, in project management, and finance. I am the tech, to say, side. But even that, I am the tech guy. I mean, I participated in market analysis and business strategies, in corporate strategy, on all of that. You know, there you have to put the essence of what you have learned through all the 14 months in one product, which is the final capstone.
So do you think now you're ready to go out and do something on your own? You feel more confident about doing it?
I feel more confident, but to say I was in connection with some real life businessmen who are doing business since a long time. They told me like, okay, this is good. You can be confident starting. Actually, I am confident starting, but in real life situations, not everything you have learned does really apply.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking for example about Potter five sources of power, like those theories. They do exist in real life, but not as a direct application as we have learned in theory. You know, you can go to Harvard Business School article, read about those powers, or any theory in business management. But when you go in real life, some peculiarities are not there. So this will change a little bit of what you have learned. So you have to tweak but at least you have the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You know, so you in Quantic and Valar course, you get the fundamentals to be ready to go to the market. So you will be equipped with a lot of knowledge. So it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's a good background to start. And if you do the course seriously, okay, if you do the course seriously, you will feel more confident. But if you do it, as I said, I mean, the examples of taking coffee in the morning and do the model, no,
Yeah.
because you will pass the exam, you get your 80, 82, 85, 90, whatever. And but after 1 month, you don't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. I think it's interesting to get so many different perspectives, and I've been talking to people with such different backgrounds, but everybody kind of says the same thing. You know, they kind of what they're learning and all of that, their motivations are all kind of similar, which I think is really interesting. And I think a lot of the people that I talk to, they like to learn. You know, that's a part of it. You know, part of the reason they're doing the MBA is because they want to educate themselves. You know.
Yes, yeah. Actually, now the education is free. It's online. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, to enter a certain kind of jobs of promotions, you need the certificate.
Yeah.
So it's better to do it through a school.
I
But if
totally agree.
you yeah, I mean, if you want to learn about anything, now just Google it. You can find a lot of things, a lot of source of information of material.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's my interview with Kassem. His story, you know, it's this testament to the power of combining technical expertise, strategic leadership, and how learning and, you know, the Quantic EMBA can be a catalyst for change, both personally and professionally. I was quite inspired by his insights and, you know, his explorations of this world of AI, leadership, innovation, and all the rest of that stuff. If you felt the same, like, subscribe, bell notification. We've got more people coming up, and of course my own humble story of going through the MBA. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Come on, people, comment on these videos. I'm curious if you've gotten anything out of them. I'm curious if you want to be on one of these interviews, if you're taking an MBA or have taken an MBA. Even if it's not with Quantic, I'm going to open the doors up to all of you interlopers. Thanks for watching. See you soon.